Is it happening this week? It wasn't happening last week. I'm so sorry for those of you who tuned in repeatedly to see the Friday Noontime webcast with your old pal Stevie Coyle here at Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. It was not happening. Let's see if it's happening this week. Oh, looks like it might be happening. This week, boys and girls, I'll be featuring guitars made by Bruce Potter. Come on in, whoever's here. Anybody here? Come on in. There's somebody. Who are you? Come on in. Welcome. Stevie Coyle here at Mighty Fine Guitars, featuring guitars by Bruce Potter this week of Willits, California, bucolic Willits, California, northern part of the state. It's like a tuba. Bum, bum, bum. High five of you. What a cool guitar. Sorry. Got distracted. Hi there, welcome everybody. Stevie Coyle here at Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California, San Francisco, East Bay area. And this is the Friday Noontime Facebook webcast. And today I'm featuring, I hope, in ways very different from last week when there were sunspots, Mercury was in weird or something, could not get a signal out consistently. But it looks like things are happening here. Do let me know if you're hearing things and seeing things. The visuals only get so good, but the sounds ought to be really terrific because I'm featuring Bruce Potter guitars today, as I tried to last week and spectacularly unsuccessful. Let's see who's all here. High five. Hi, Eric Elfring. Nice to see you. Nancy Paul is watching. Very good. Mark Baranki is watching. Very good. Robert Barcelos. Pat Bolton. I miss Nancy today. Andrew Potter is watching. Andrew Potter. Any relation to Bruce Potter? Or is this your alias on Facebook? Because what I'm featuring today are Potter guitars. Bruce Potter is out of Willits, California. Mokai, poor guy, sorry man. He says he's hearing things and seeing things. But his doctor says there's a pill for that. It's not a little blue pill. Those are different, or so I'm told. That was the SJ. And let me tell you a little bit about the SJ that I just played there. It's right here on this piece of paper. The top was Port Orford Cedar, which is really cool. I really like the sound of Port Orford. It's not quite as pingy. It's not quite pingy. I think I've just invented an adjective. It's not quite as bright and sparkly as Adirondack or some of the other spruces, but I like that. It's a cedar. It's a hybrid. Port Orford cedar on the top and Wenge on the back and sides. Everybody say it with me, Wenge. It's really fun. It's one of the funner woods to say out loud. And here it is, very dark, very chocolatey. If you didn't know better, you might think, oh, Brazilian rosewood. And sonically, it's right up next to Brazilian rosewood as well. Very hard, very heavy wood. It's not a light guitar, and it's biggish. It's fairly narrow through the waist, which makes it comfortable to sit on your lap. It's not like a dreadnought where the waist is wide as well as the lower bout, and the guitar sits up way high. This one is, man, that is huge. And that bass is monstrous as well, in a good way. Really interesting. Those half steps. Do you hear how they wobble together? And this one's got some really interesting half step action going on there in that E minor 9-ish thing with an F sharp in your E minor chord. Hear the way that bangs against the open G string because they're just a half step apart. Wah, 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 wah. Cool. Very loud guitar. It's nice. You can play it soft and you're still getting out there. Very chesty. Oh, very chest voice, baritone, kind of, not a baritone guitar, baritone voice kind of feel. Yeah, big old SJ, the small jumbo. Kind of like jumbo shrimp, I realize, but that's kind of what this size guitar is generally called, a small jumbo. Moving on to, now I've got two other guitars to show you. The next one is a 12-string. Stick around, though, for the harp guitar that's over here. Quite astonishing. Let me say hello and see who's here and see if there are any questions. Andrew Potter's pretty sure he's not Bruce Potter. Okay, good. I'm glad we got that cleared up. Hi, David Martin. There you are. Here's the Bruce Potter 12-string. Interesting because it's small. It's not a giant guitar, as so many 12 strings are. It's 12 frets, which is another interesting feature. And so it begins. The 12-string tuning adventure. Tuning a 12-string is process more than product, even more than tuning a regular guitar. To play a 12 fret 12 string where everything is kind of in here instead of way the hell out there and way the heck up here. Let's see, what are the specs on the Mighty Potter 12 string? They are, my hands are so dry. Here we go. Back and sides are black acacia, very lovely. The top is German spruce. The fingerboard bridge, headplate, and binding are all Brazilian rosewood. Nice. And a thing that Bruce does on most of his guitars, I think probably certainly on the Wengi, say it with me, Wengi, you know you want to, is he does this 5-piece neck, which is really great. Great for stability. Using the term plywood is often gives you sort of a lesser sort of feel, plywood. But wood, when it's plied, when it's used in separate pieces, helps resist twisting and bending. So, of course, a 5-piece neck, 3 big pieces and 2 little pieces, helps keep the neck stable, which on a 12-string is of paramount importance, as you know. I got myself a 12-string for $80. Danny Ide, are you out there? You remember. He sold it to me, or to my parents at the time, back in high school. And it was a wonderful guitar. As all 12 strings were at the time, it was gigantic. It was really hard to play. It was made by this company called Cleara in Germany. And boy, I loved that guitar, even though it killed my hands. It sounded fantastic. And I was playing a gig at the jock dorm across the quad from my dorm in college. And somebody offed with my 12-string while I was out on the stage with the 6-string. So if you're out there, hope you enjoyed it. That's the 12-string. This is black acacia, back and sides, German spruce top, a little spalted maple around the rosette there, and short scale, short neck, 12 frets, small body. Very interesting. And we should talk prices on some of these, I guess. The 12-string, we're asking $37.50 on that. That's the asking. Make me an offer. The Wengi SJ, that one we're asking $3,900 on that one. Fantastic guitar for the money. This is the golden age, kids. This is the golden age of guitar building. There are all kinds of great builders out there lurking in the hinterlands, and Bruce Potter is just top of the heap. Wonderful guitars. This SJ in particular is quite a wonderful guitar, and I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. Let's move on. This is kind of the star of the show for this week. It's a harp guitar. And here it is, as it slowly heaves into view. I wish I knew. I say I'm hearing echoes from all over the place. I say I wish I knew really how to maximize the use of a harp guitar. I do not, I'm afraid. Now, the thought behind a harp guitar, there are 2 schools of thought behind harp guitar, as many of you know. Some say you just play a regular guitar, and these strings vibrate sympathetically, depending on how you've got the guitar tuned. They vibrate sympathetically. On a lot of harp guitars I played, that doesn't really happen so much. You don't hear a whole lot. On this guitar, you really do. I'm hearing all kinds of overtones. I wonder if you are too. Let me get the things pointed at you a little bit more here. Boy. Tune this just... Tune along with me, you know you are. And the harmonics are just kind of going wild inside the harp up here. Now the other school of thought, remember when we were talking about schools of thought before I started tuning this thing? The second school of thought is you actually play the harp. Michael Hedges kind of brought that to the fore. It's been carried on by lots of folks. Andy McKee. these strings, this tuning, my lungs are rattling in my chest. Help. I got this tuning off of the web somewhere just because somebody said this is a great tuning to put it in. I think what I would probably do with a guitar like this is focus on alternate tunings and make sure, like a dadgad or something cool, you know, an Orkney or a Darkney or one of them, and have lots of sympathetic strings operating down here with making sure I had, just because so many of the songs you and I know are based around a 1, a 4, and a 5 chord, onesie, foursie, fivesy songs, I'd make sure I had some 1s and 4s and 5s up there to mess with. Wow. And like I was saying earlier, the harp often on a lot of harp guitars doesn't really activate much. On this guitar, made of redwood top and walnut back and sides, my back. Walnut back and sides is extremely responsive. Even just playing the regular guitar and letting the harp do its sympathetic thing. It's a very lively, active guitar in both zones. And if this guitar sticks around any length of time, I'm going to teach myself some kind of harpy thing to play, you know, using the harp as well. Felt myself going into the zone there of intense exploration where you lose control of your facial muscles and you suddenly are in another zone altogether. David Lindley tells a wonderful story about how he had waited and waited for this oud that he was having made somewhere in the Middle East by a real oud maker, an oud luthier. That's fun to say too. And he had waited and waited, and finally the thing showed up, and he got it, and he was just so excited, and he started playing it, and he did that thing, he got that fiddle face, some people call it, where suddenly your face loses all tension, and you lose track of what's happening anywhere above your arms, sort of. And he was playing the guitar, the oud, which it was beautiful, but extremely delicate. Didn't even have a finish on it. It was just kind of bare wood all over so that it resonated hugely, and he was having the best time. And all of a sudden, he noticed dribbling out of his own mouth a big glob of spit landing right on the guitar, like 5 minutes into him playing the thing. And of course, there was no finish on the guitar, so that became a permanent visual feature of David Lindley's oud. Oh yeah, this one sings. Get to your comments and questions, and I'm sure there are several. Those of you just tuning in, thank you very much. Stevie Coyle here at Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. This is the Friday Noontime Facebook webcast, which I try and do with notable exceptions like last week when the electrons were just not cooperating. I could not get a signal out for more than a couple of seconds. I blame the schools. That's my standard when I miss a chord, something. There's a little gift from me to you. You miss a chord, you blow something on the guitar, just stop and look straight out and say, I blame the schools. Works for me. Hi there, Bunny Barnes. Thank you for sharing this. What a good idea, folks. If you have guitar-oriented pals you think might enjoy these Friday Noontime webcasts, you can share them. Hit the little share button there with either individuals or with your own Facebook page. You can do that before or after the show as well. And Bunny's got a show coming up. Bunny Barnes just posted here. Click on over to her show. Award-winning fingerstyle guitarist. Just won a big award. And her show is on at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So as soon as you get done here, it's got to be, 12:20, 12:25, something like that. Jump on over there. Oh, and Bunny's going to open for Muriel Anderson at a house concert. This guitar over, is it that shoulder? Yes. That guitar right back there is the Muriel Anderson model, a Klein guitar. Steve Klein has guitars that he designed, built by Steve Kaufman, and that's one of them. That's the Muriel Anderson model right back then. Congratulations, Bunny. The two of you on a show, fantastic. That's going to be a great show. Is that going to be webcast at all, Bunny? Or is that one of those ones you got to go like live to? Got so used to watching shows. Nah, it's nothing like a live show. If you can get to it, folks, get to the live show. Muriel's shows are always great. And with Bunny Barnes on the bill as well, can't go wrong. Let's see here. Hey there, Chris Gasparo. Nice to see you. Todd Rensma. Isn't that thing wild? Yeah, pretty wild. Hi, David. Hi, Ron Peters. Let's see here. What else we got? Yeah, I'm okay. Okay. Those standard tunings are pretty rough. Yadgbe is much easier. You know, missionary tuning, E-A-D-G-B-E. Some people pronounce it Yadgbe. Jim Werford, how are you, man? Nice to see you. It's a house concert, live only. I see. There we go. All right. Hi, John Kressich. Good. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm going to play the SJ just a little bit more because it's super fun. And it's great to play a guitar that isn't huge but sounds really huge. Oh, that's beefy. I got a home in this yonder city, good Lord, and it's not, good Lordy, and it's not made by hand. Something like that. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you got any comments or questions, leave them in the comments section here. I'll come along and scoop them up and answer them best I can later on. All guitars today by Bruce Potter from Willits, California. A 12-string, a black acacia 12-string, a Wenge SJ, and a walnut and redwood harp guitar. All came in on the same day. So let me know if any of those are of interest. The place to stay tuned to. Oh, I should tell you about the Quitters. My duo has become a trio. Chris Key, the original bass player for the Waybacks and a co-founder of Houston Jones, Glenn's and my two bands, has joined us, and now it's the Quitters Trio. So come and tune us in when you can. We had a great time at the opening flight in SoCal, California last Saturday. It was really terrific. We had a great time. And there's a little video on my page stacked up. You'll see a little black and white kind of cartoony looking video that my gal Valerie put together somehow. I don't know how she did that. She got a little bit of the sound check there, and it turned out pretty cool. So thanks for all of that. I'll be answering your questions in the crawl. Do feel free to share all of this. Tune in next week. I've got at least one mid-60s Martin to show you next week, and we'll see what else comes in. All right? All right. See you down the road, everybody. Your old pal Stevie Coyle signing off from Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. Ta-ta. Would you like to play the guitar?